lot of people say, I've never done this before. And you don't know what to expect. So I don't know what to expect on this. The only thing I can ask for is, can you at least, fixing my hair there, yeah. Can you at least let me know if you can hear me? That's a good start. Because I got my mic plugged in here. And this is an Ask Me Anything. So if no one asks me anything, then this will be a real short stream because I'm relying on you to be a part of this. But I was thinking that I wanted to do something a little bit different because, for one, I don't know if anyone ever really streams this way. I don't use anything fancy. I don't have StreamYard or Melon or anything fun like that we do on Fridays. What's up, everyone? It's totally different from what we do with Will. So I don't know. I'm giving this a shot because on the Will stream yesterday, I said that I had a video that I was going to let you guys either have today or tomorrow. I'm going to let you guys have that tomorrow. So instead of releasing it tonight, because I know Saturdays are kind of weird because sometimes people like to do things in the evening. Sometimes there's all kinds of other things going on. So people don't necessarily watch videos on a Saturday. So I felt like a Sunday actual video would be better, but I had the time and I am waiting for my wife to get home. And I said, what better thing than just to jump on here and chat on a live stream? So to answer your question, Declan, this is the first one. Is this your first time going live? Sure is, if you can't tell, because this is extremely raw, extremely just up in the air, because if no one asks me anything, because that's what this is, an Ask Me Anything. So I want to chat and talk with you. We can talk about figures, we can talk about life, we can talk about YouTube in general. This is your forum to learn from my expertise, perhaps, which I don't think I have a lot of, but as I said, I didn't know what we were supposed to be looking at here, and I'm glad to know that it actually shows chat, because I was about to try to put my laptop up here, and that was going to be a mess. I'm happy I can see the comments in the chats. So, and I can scroll. This is perfect. Good. So I can actually interact with you guys through it all. So, live streams. Press X to continue says live streams. Heck yeah. Hot Toys. Spit on that thing. I know a lot of people don't like the Hawk Tua thing, but it is what it is. That's actually what I'm kind of hoping for. I'm looking for my viral moment, my viral sensation. I feel like I have a good enough personality to where I could have one of those, but that's the way that life is that it literally is a lightning in the bottle. Things can change in your life so fast like that. And I'm waiting for my viral moment. And everyone always says, what do you do YouTube for? I really don't know. It's not to make money because you don't make money really doing YouTube. But I would say, and I'll be honest, is that I had a dream, not like Martin Luther King, but I had a dream when like 5, 6, 7 years ago when I was working at one of my other jobs, that one of my goals is that I wanted to kind of like have a big platform and a big audience. And I wanted to kind of do like host a Hall H at San Diego Comic-Con. That was one of my big dreams. It still is a big dream of mine. And I know that you don't really get there without a big platform that allows you to do so. And so that's why I jumped into YouTube. I was like, well, I might as well start somewhere. So yes, some big future plans. I would love to host a Comic-Con or something like that, to where I am interviewing Robert Downey Jr. one day or something like that. And I think that's cool. You know, have some big dreams for yourself, shoot for the moon, you'll land among the stars. Pun intended. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to go through the chats here. As I said, it is an Ask Me Anything, so make sure to ask me anything, and I will respond the best I can. So Darth Tamara says, what's up, brother? I'm going to catch the replay. Sounds good, my friend. Thank you for, if you're here and you are a friend of the channel, whether it be the Will Show or mine, and you're a subscriber and all that, thank you, by the way. Darth Tamarisk, you're always on my videos, on Will's, just always giving us input, giving us responses, and I thank you so much for that. So I love the community. I love the opportunity to chat with everyone. So that's what we're doing here today. Hello all. What's up? Love your Flash Messy says, love your content and viewpoints, Keco. Keep up the great work. And yes, that's what I want to always do, is I really want to be different. I want to be in a different space because I feel, and I firmly believe this, Valkyrie Magnus says, weekends are made for Hot Toys conversation. Well, here we are. I really want to be a different voice and a different option in the toy community, and not just the hot toy community, but the collectible community, because I feel like there's a lot of the same out there, and I'm not knocking anybody that does kind of let's be honest, there are some big accounts that are out there, and a lot of people look a lot like theirs whenever they do their channels, their reviews. And I don't do reviews because there's too many people out there that are doing reviews. And I was like, I need to stand out. I need to find something that is going to be my niche, whatever you want to call it. And I want to really excel in that. And so one of the things I've excelled at, I wouldn't even say excel because this is a very small community. But I am known for thinking outside the box and giving you opinions that are a little bit controversial, and I will stand by those. And it doesn't come from me thinking I'm some a-hole or trying to do anything like that. It's just I'm trying to give a different perspective than what you normally hear. If you sat there and say, oh, this greatest figure in the world, get this, yeah, hell yeah, all the time, I feel like you lose some of the luster on that. And everyone says the exact same thing. Same thing that when we do our streams with Will, I don't ever want to be the guy that sits there and be like, okay, so this is out. So what do you think about it? And I don't want to just say, well, it's great. Can't wait to add it to the collection. I want to provide you a reason to talk to me and watch my stuff. I want to give you a reason to subscribe. So I don't know why I went on that rant, but yeah, keep up the great work. Thank you, Flash Messy, for that. Weekends are made for toy conversation. Jeremy Stutz says, get tickets to watch the Bengals-Raiders game today in November. Okay. Is it... I feel very bad. I got a Bengals towel here, but I don't know if the Raiders are at home or the Bengals are at home for that game, so let me know. Ryan Cook says, hey, Keco, love your content. What was your first Hot Toys figure? My first Hot Toys figure, as I've said before, is right there. Oh, I can pivot this bad boy. How about that? There we go. Right there is my first Hot Toys figure, and that is the Deadpool 2. Deadpool 2, Deadpool from Deadpool 2. That was the first one I ever got from Rick's Comic City. And as you say, maybe you're watching this right now and you've never held a hot toy before and you've never really even seen one in person. I promise you, when you actually hold one of these in your hands, not that they're magical, but they are something different. It's not like you can go to Walmart and pick up something of this quality. And so when I actually got to hold one in my hands, that's what started this whole obsession, because I held one for the first time, and that led to another and another and another, and we have some problems, as you can see. Quite a few, and not problems, but that's what started it all. So that was the first one I got, was the Deadpool 2. RG says, what up, Keco? Everyone live stream nice. How do you like your custom display so far? Ryan Stadler says, are you considering to mod your case down the road? I don't think so. I don't think that I'm going to do the Magic case simply because it's a lot of money for all of that. They look beautiful, but I think this is sufficient for me, at least for right now. If someone wants to gift me a bunch of Magic cases, sure, I'll do that. But for the cost-effective route of what I was doing, this was what I wanted. And I was able to build them all myself for a fraction of the cost, and I didn't have to wait. I did it all in a month, essentially. I think I built this whole thing in about a month. That included me getting all my figures out, all the DTOFs out, sold the DTOFs, built these, put all the figures back in, rewired all the lights, all that stuff. So, yeah, I don't plan on going Magic case route, but I really like these. There's always things I wish I could have done a little bit different, a little bit better, but you live and you learn. So I don't have much more room for anything else, so I'm kind of expanding in as opposed to expanding out. But yeah, I like these pretty well. Latoya says, hello. Eclectic Collector, you going to ICCC? Yes, I am. October 3rd through 5th, I think it is. That is in Nashville here. The Nashville, it's a big Star Wars Comic-Con, essentially. I think it's the Imperial Commissary Convention. Anyway, ICCC in Nashville. I've gone every single year. I believe that they are going to have a stellar set of guests. I know that Warwick Davis plays Wicket, and Willow. He'll be there. They've always get some big heavy hitters. Last year they had They had Charlie Cox, Vincent D'Onofrio, Deborah Walt. Basically the cast of Daredevil was there last year, when that was awesome. So I don't know who all they're going to have this year. I know that they're starting to trickle that out. But yes, I will be at ICCC. So if you all want to come to a really cool sci-fi comic convention, something like that, and you're in Nashville or you're local and you want to go out there, yeah, come on out to ICCC. It's in it's back at the old Music City Center as opposed to being in Lebanon. So I'm excited about that. Bossmander says, Key and Co panel? Maybe. I think you're saying like having a panel guest. I don't know, but yeah, it's just me today. Mr. Comic says, do you agree if you're doing payment plans, you shouldn't be in the hobby? You should only be if you can pay in full. That's a spicy comment, and I appreciate that one, Mr. Comics. Do I agree that you shouldn't be in this hobby if you have to do payment plans? No, not at all. I am the fan of never use your money for something. And let me say that the right way. Don't If you have an option to find a more financially stable way to do something, take advantage of that. It's when you do like 15 payment plans at once and then you're like, oh, I'm paying 15 figures at, whatever it is this month. That adds up really quick. If you just say, I want to break up my payments and I don't do it all at once, I got no problem with that. There's a reason that when you do a big purchase, because here's the thing, a big purchase for you may be different from a big purchase for somebody else, and vice versa. There's a reason places like Best Buy and Home Depot and all those have payment plans, and even cars. If you're going to finance a car, they give you that option to say, hey, do you want to break up this $50,000 car, or would you like to pay $50,000 right now? Because let's be honest, not a lot of people have that type of disposable income. So if you can break it up, go for it. If you can do it responsibly, that's the big thing. Can you do it responsibly? If you are adding more pre-orders than you realize, that's why I think it's so important to really dial in with how much you have, what you've put up. Keep a spreadsheet. That would be so helpful to you. So no, there's nothing wrong with a payment plan. If you can pay it in full so you can be done with it, great. But if not the end of the world. So I don't have any problem with that. Paul R., if you could play any Marvel superhero, which one would it be? If I wanted to be attractive, I'd want to be Thor, obviously. If I could just look like Chris Hemsworth, that would be fantastic. But if I could play any superhero, honestly, it might, because Deadpool is my first one ever, it might be Deadpool, because I'm immortal, I can't die, and I'm funny, and that's what I want to do. So, yeah, you got the ugly face underneath it, but you're saying if I could play a superhero, I'd love to play Deadpool. Did you say play or be? Let's see. If I could play any Marvel superhero, which one would it be? Yeah, I'd still want to be Deadpool. It'd be fun. Dexter says, hey, Keco, been watching your videos a lot, and I think your videos have a lot of energy and passion in them, and just want to say keep going, and thanks for the great content. Dexter, thank you. I appreciate that, and I always want to have a bunch of energy. I have a lot of it. I sometimes get a little bit too animated for some people, but that's just the way it is. But I appreciate the people that watch it for who I am, because I think Will said it best, is that who you see on here, this is who I really am. So if you ever see me at ICCC, if you've met me at Comic-Con, if you've met me at Star Wars Celebration, this is who I am. This is who I am. And so I will never put on a false front for somebody. Kind of the same way if I talk. If you want my opinion, I'm going to give you my real opinion. I'm not going to sit there and like BS you or anything. So that's who I am, and that's who I'm always going to be. And so I'm not going to be some fake person on here. And who you see is what you get. Eclectic Collector asks as well, is this your real hair color? Yes, this is my real hair. It's long. I'm growing it out on top because I don't know what I want to do with it. But that 100% is my real hair. The one hair color that is not my real hair is when I bleach it, and it's like Targaryen white. That is literally bleach. But this is my actual hair color, dirty blonde, whatever. Is that your SG Collectibles say, Keco, should I buy from Cock Collectibles? Keco, should I buy from Pop Collectibles? I hear mixed reviews. No, I would not do that, honestly. I have made videos before where I'd say, and I've gotten several figures from Pop Collectibles, and I was doing them day one, and I wanted to make sure I had them fast, but they were not professional when it came to their business dealings. And as more and more people started to work with them, there started to be more and more problems. And I was not in a good conscience to be able to say, hey, yes, please buy from them, because yes, it's great if you have somebody that is a big influencer or a YouTuber or something and they get all their stuff. And what I was seeing is that the little people, and I'm not a big person, I'm a little person as well. I'm just like you guys. I pay for everything myself. I don't have any insider deals. I don't get discounts. I don't work with anybody, because I want you to know that when you hear me talking, it's me talking. I'm not influenced by anything. And we've talked about that multiple times before, about influencers and YouTube, all that stuff. And I got disappointed with what Pop Collectibles was doing. So I can't in good conscience say go there, because if you go to the Hot Toys subreddit and type in Pop Collectibles, you will see plenty of horror stories. And I didn't want to be associated with that. So I know Justin gets all of his stuff from there. And he says, do your research and buy where you're comfortable from. So part of doing your research is going to places that have reviews and seeing what real people say. And I'm not saying you're not going to get your figure, or I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying it's not worth the headache if something were to go wrong. So take that for what you will. How close, Cairo, I think? Cairo says, how close are you to completely giving up on InArt? I said it yesterday. I am this close. These are my Kang hands, by the way. I am this close to giving up on InArt. I think, and I've said on the stream, I don't think that they're ready for prime time. I'm excited I was excited when they said this is going to be a new entry into the 6-scale market, and I don't think they've delivered on that. I don't think they were ready for prime time. I think that they maybe wrote a few too many checks that they can't cash, not financially speaking, but some promises, and I think they're really struggling. There's some QC issues across the board that I don't think is good, and I'm very concerned about the future of the company. Mainly because I have things pre-ordered with them. I am still waiting on my Batman, as you all know. I have Paul Atreides ordered, but I've not and I have the Joaquin 4-pack ordered. I have not ordered the Michael Jackson. And as you can see, is it there? I don't know if you can see it or not. There he is. I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. I got Michael Jackson's down there as well. I have every Hot Toys Michael Jackson figure. I love Michael Jackson. And to potentially pass on that figure hurts. But I'm kind of in the let's vote with your wallet situation, and I don't know if I can in good conscience stay with InArt. I think it's ridiculous at this point with the batch system and the QC issues. I don't think they're ready for prime time. They can certainly correct it and prove me wrong, but I guess we'll see. So that's how close I am. I'm this close to giving up on InArt. 16 Star Wars Pimpazoid said, did you wire up your display cases with USB hubs to plug into these new hot... Yes. So right behind my, let's do this here. Can you see it? Right behind my Batmobile there is, see where the Riddler is? I don't even know. I can't see what you're seeing. Right where the Riddler is my Batmobile. And behind that Batmobile is a USB hub. And if you check out my Instagram, there is and if you want to message me, I can send you the link to the Instagram post I did. It's a little USB hub that is plugged directly into my outlet that is powered with my smart switch. So whenever I turn my lights on, the hub is powered up, and it's got 6 cable options for me to plug in. So each one has a cable. And yeah, and I run everything that's on this side has a cable power up. So the Batman stairs from The Batman, the Darth Vader has his chest lights up, his lightsaber, Mace Windu, the Anakin steps, the Kenobi saber. So yes, I'm using the USB hubs, and the thing about it, if you have it's not the best technology in the world, for sure, with the figures. They could probably do some better. There's a little bit too many wires. But within the box, it's got an option to kind of daisy chain on the box itself. So I have the main cable that's from the hub going into Mace Windu, and then the daisy chains powering Obi-Wan and Mace. So you have the option there to, kind of link everybody together. And that's what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm 100% using the USB features. I think it's great. Because if you have one sitting next to a USB feature figure and one that's not, they look a lot better. I'm not even going to say they don't, so for sure. Frogman says, your videos are unique and different, which is why I watch all your content. Frogman, thank you. I appreciate everyone that watches, subs, comments. I always want to be a part of the community, and I really enjoy doing all that. Bosmander says, the niche videos are so much more interesting to the hardcore 6-go enthusiasts. Keep it up. Thank you, Bossmander. And that's the video you're going to be getting tomorrow called High on Hopium. And it's just something different because I don't feel like a lot of people talk about some of the things that I talk about. And I said this on Will's stream yesterday, is that I am intrigued by how much hope people put out into seeing things that are revealed. And after Kidpool came out, there is 105 figures that have been revealed that got never put up for pre-order. 105. And I think we as collectors may have a little too much hope. thinking that they're all going to come out. Because let's be honest, not all of them are going to come out. Now, every now and then you do get one from the graveyard, like Padme or some type of airborne trooper or something like that. It does happen. But to think that they're all going to happen, and so everyone just starts selling everything and being, oh, I got to get rid of this because this new version's coming. We don't know that. So don't get high on hope. Let's be logical. And so that's what that video is about. So that's another unique type videos. Hopefully you enjoy that. The Toy Enthusiast says, recently I've been watching your channel and Will's more recently. Y'all bring those truth bombs we all need to hear. Hot Toys Mace Windu or Clone Wars Obi-Wan? Well, I have both. They're both right there. Both are wired up with USB sabers, as I said. I don't know. Which one do you like better? The sculpt is not great on both. The presence of Kenobi is probably a little bit stronger, but you're never going to get another Mace Windu. So if you have the option, maybe Mace, because that purple saber is pretty cool. So that's just my opinion. I think you definitely give a different take, Chronically of Noise said. Thank you. That's what I try to do. Ryan Stadler, Keco, should we be concerned that Sideshow keeps pushing back the ARF Trooper and Obi-Wan from his own series? That's one that is very interesting to me, is the ARF, the big kind of little ATST looking thing from Clone Wars. That one's been pushed back a lot, and it's not on any of the coming soons. I don't know what the issue is. I think potentially is that, kind of like with the Bark Speeder, not a lot of people ordered that, and I'm willing to bet maybe the ARF didn't get a lot of orders either, and so they're just kind of prioritizing the things that are going to make them the most money. That's my opinion. I don't know. Is it going to come? Of course it's going to come. So I don't think you should worry about that at all, but we'll see. Nick Collectibles, my boy Nick, says, the OTC or 1/6 scale. My brother Nick, if you're still watching this right now, y'all know, let's go ahead and put our fingers up and acknowledge the OTC, that being the original tribal chief, Roman Reigns. If y'all don't know, I'm a huge wrestling fan. The OTC, Roman Reigns, is officially back to take the title of head of the table back from Solo Sikoa. Jacob Fatu showed up last night to kind of keep the story going, but as Nick and I always know, cinema. It's a good time to be a wrestling fan right now, so it's a lot of fun. Jazz D says, do you think you'll be still collecting in 10 years? I will be 100% collecting in 10 years because I've collected for 38 years. I'll be 38 in November. I've always collected something, but a lot of collectors go in and out of what it is they collect. So will I be collecting 6 scale figures? I want to say yes, because I feel like this is like the perfect scale for someone my age and the perfect representation of figures. Now, I've started to incorporate, statues, as you can see, but the wider offerings that a lot of these offer, I'm a big fan of what 6 Scale's doing, and they're a lot of fun to collect. They're easier to collect than statues, but a lot of people say, well, I'm just not feeling it anymore. I want to sell all my stuff and get out of collecting. But I've always said before, if you're a collector, you will find something to collect. Every time, you will find something to collect. So make sure it counts. So if you're a collector, you always will collect. And I will be collecting something, and most likely it'll still be this, because I feel like I found what it is that I really want to do. JC says, great channel. Thank you so much for that. Luis says, first live stream solo. Congratulations, Keco. What's up? Yep. We're doing a live stream. Never thought I would do one on YouTube, but that's where I like to be, because y'all are... I know all you guys. You guys are on the live streams with Will. A lot of you guys follow me on my Instagram. But by the way, I was thinking about either going here or Instagram for this live stream, but I've never done one on YouTube, and I was like, let's do it. But Instagram's popping off right now. I got 15,000 people that are following me on Instagram, which is crazy. 300,000 people watched my latest Kang reel, and it was very controversial, and people have been fighting in the comments for 4 days. So Instagram's wild. TikTok's popping off. We're right around 4,100 on TikTok. I just want to keep growing the platform, and if one takes off, then that one takes off. But I really like YouTube because I like conversating with y'all, and it's the largest video platform in the world. So YouTube it is. Here we are. How many figures do you own? Nasty Dan says. As of right now, I think like 412 maybe. I do keep a spreadsheet, so I know exactly what comes in. The most recent thing is Kang. So I think that is my most recent, well, it is my most recent figure, but I think it's right around 412, give or take. How long have you been collecting Hot Toys? I've been collecting Hot Toys for about 5, 6 years at this point. As I said, got that Deadpool, was my first one from Rick's Comic City in Nashville. And I was collecting before the pandemic for sure. And I know a lot of people use the term pandemic collector, and that's a negative thing. And people use stimulus money to get into this hobby, and now they don't have it and they want to get out. But conversation for a different time. But I've been collecting Hot Toys for about 5, 6 years. So, and I know you can do the math in your head. That's accumulating a lot of figures rather quickly. I don't recommend doing that because it's probably not the smartest thing to do unless you have considerable amounts of income. And I'm not saying I do, but I mean, my wife and I both work. We don't have kids. We have weenie dogs, as you all know. But I've been blessed to have, some financial security to do a couple different things. But I definitely have more things than I should. And I'll be the first to admit that, is that I bought way too many things at different times. And I wish I would have slowed down a long time ago. But here we are. So there we go. Mr. A. G. Ingrid, Keco, this is completely genuine. You're my favorite 1/6 scale content creator right now. I'd love more frequency on the videos. You actually inspired me to start my own channel. Love brutal honesty. Mr. AJ Green Day, I think I'm saying that right. Thank you for being transparent, and thank you for being nice. And I will always be brutally honest with people. And I love to do this and be unique. And I'm trying to put more stuff out as far as the frequency of the videos. I just don't want to oversaturate. I could put out a video every single day. And maybe this is something that y'all let me know what you think about that. I could literally put out a video every single day. But if I do that, are you less inclined to click the next one because there's going to be another one tomorrow? So I want to make sure I maximize the time and effort that I put into each video. And that, as a content creator, if you're doing that same thing, you have to think about that as well. Because time and effort goes into it. And so if you put a lot of time into a video and not a lot of people watch it because the next one, though, I'll get the next one. I don't know if I really want to do that because I then cannibalize my views. And so that's one of the things I've thought about. But if y'all want more, let me know what more you want so that we can possibly do it the right way. Maybe it's a live stream once a week like this on Saturdays and just chatting because my wife works a little bit later on Saturdays. If that's something you all want to see, where it's just kind of ask me anything and we just chat on here, we can do those things. But I'm glad you started a channel. The community's super fun, as you can tell. So, Mr. AJ, thank you for that. Chronically Annoyed said, I can't believe the ARF Trooper got pushed back. Yep, talk about that. Alien Romulus was awesome. Debating picking up the Reeboks. Are we talking about the Reebok shoes, or what are we talking about there? I've not seen Romulus yet. I loved Alien. I loved Aliens, two of the greatest horror sci-fi movies of all time. Prometheus. And then some of the other aliens were pretty mid, but we'll see. JC says, what are some of the best practices for buying from Hong Kong sellers in eBay? I want to make sure I say this properly and give the best advice I can. So JC says, once again, what are some of the best practices for buying from Hong Kong sellers and eBay? Or saying buying Hong Kong in eBay. So if depending on where you live, that's the biggest thing. If you are stateside, I would highly recommend just to use Sideshow and you get the stuff when it comes in. I know there is a huge drive so that you can say, I've got it before everybody else. And you see everyone getting the figures and taking photos and doing reviews. And it's like, oh, I want it so bad. And you overpay for it. And that's the one thing I cannot stress enough because, y'all, I've overpaid for a lot of pieces in here, and I really, really do regret that. That's one of the biggest things I wish I could say is stop overpaying for stuff to these people that, they will get it to you quick. But it's not worth it, y'all. It's just certainly not. But some of the best practices is buy only from resellers and retailers that have trustworthy reputations. I think that everyone agrees that Toys Buying Agent is probably one of the best. 1/6 Kit is one of the best. I very rarely hear anything bad about any of those. Everybody else, kind of up in the air. I'm not saying they're bad people. I'm not saying they're bad business people. I'm just saying that is something I don't want to deal with. So find the right place that you're going to be confident that you're going to get your stuff. Never, if you can, never pay in full for something that's a year plus out. I know they'll be like, oh, you get a better price if you pay full. Don't do that. Do not do that. It's too risky, especially if that retailer just wants to run away with your money. Don't do that. And then as far as eBay, just buy something from somebody with positive feedback. If they have any negative feedback, absolutely not. If you're stateside and you're trying to buy something from somebody overseas, don't do it, because all they have to do, as far as eBay goes, will send you something, a tracking number. It'll say it's delivered, and then you can't dispute it. They can give you a pack of gum, and they're like, "Well, that's what we sent." They can't. And they won't get your stuff back. So be very, very careful. Always use PayPal goods and services. Don't ever do friends and family unless you're standing in the parking lot with somebody. My Ecto-1, I use PayPal friends and family because it literally was standing in the parking lot with somebody. Batman Collectibles, as you know, I don't know if he's here right now. I met you in Chipotle, and we exchanged the PayPals, and that's friends and family, because it's a friend and a family, and you know they're not gonna, you know what you're getting right away. So don't use friends and family, because you're not gonna get your stuff back. If you have any other questions about that, let me know. Dexter says, which Iron Man figure do you think Hot Toys will implement the USB function with first? Which one? Probably whatever one they're currently working on at that time. So right now we're kind of sitting around the Mark 6s, and the Mark 3s are kind of the big thing right now. I think they're going to redo the Mark 4, and it'll probably be that one. That or the Mark 7. I think those are the big options. I don't think it'll be definitely one from the Hall of Armor. It's not going to be like the Mark 43 or anything like that, or Mark 47, Mark 46 would be cool, but I just don't think it would be. It's got to be an iconic suit. So that's the one I'm going with. So if you were to say, all right, all in, which one you're picking, I'll probably say the Mark 7. Iron Man Mark 7 will be the first one. Shout out from Ireland. Hello from Ireland. Jeff says, in my toy photography, I use tons of Photoshop. What are your thoughts on Photoshop and toy photography? I mean, I use Photoshop too. What do you consider to be Photoshop? So a lot of the stuff I do is in lens. So what I do is that all my lighting, all my angles is done within the camera itself. The only thing I do is boost some contrast, add a layer or so of fog or something like that. Lightsaber blades, obviously, because they don't make real lightsaber blades. That's about the extent of my toy photography when it comes to using Photoshop. I will use some magic erasers, essentially, to edit out like a stand or something that may not look good there, or if there's a dust on the face and it's a real shiny figure, like get that out. I clean it up. I use Photoshop to clean it up. So if you're making something, go for it. No issue there. So enjoy photography. Batman Collectibles is here, but it said message retracted. I don't know what you may have said, but whatever you said, either say it again. Aaron Pineda says, hey man, longtime viewer, first time commenter. I have a question. How are you? Hello. I am great. I'm vibing because we got 90 people in here and been chilling for 30 minutes. So thank you for that. I can't believe this many people are actually hanging out and talking to me. So props to every single one of you in there. So give me a thumbs up and a like and a clap or whatever for all of y'all. So congratulations for everyone being in here watching with me. So hello, how are you? I'm doing great. Luis says, the rules of first live stream solo is to give a... Oh, okay. Luis says the rules of the first live stream is to give away a hot toy. Yeah, probably not. Maybe one day. But not tonight. 160 Light says, hey Keco, hope all is well. Huge fan of your channel. Thank you. I love the support. Thank you all for that. Ninja says, Keco, what Hot Toys endgame figure do you think are likely to get 2.0s with rolling eyeballs now that Spider-Man is getting a 2.0? So I'm going to throw this one out here. How about Thanos? I want a Thanos with some rolling eyes. That would be a nice one. I think there's probably going to be a Thor. Probably you said endgame, right? Let me look real quick. I'm looking at the endgame line. Here's all the endgame stuff. Maybe a new Captain America. Endgame Captain America with... No, that's still Infinity War. Never mind. It'll probably be an endgame. It'll probably be a Captain America or an Iron Man or something. But yeah, I would like to see a Thanos, just so you can do a few other crazy stuff with Thanos. I love Thanos. Got both of them right there. I want a new Ultron, but now we're just talking crazy. Darren says, use Sideshow Calendar. It really helps for planning out your POs. Yes, especially if you're going to do a payment plan. I didn't know that was a thing. I might actually do a video on that, about the Sideshow Calendar. Darren2501, if you're still out there, let me know where do I find the Sideshow calendar? Talk to me about that. Leave a comment so I can see that. Iron King says, Keco, what happens when you finally run out of space? Will you extend your collection to the rest of your house? No. So these are, as you can see, these are pretty stacked. All right, there's lots of stuff going on in here, but I built these for depth. There's a lot of depth still behind here, and so what I can do is that pretty much everything you see, I can double everything that's in here because I would push them back, put them on a riser, and then put the new figures in the front or whatever those ones are going to be. So I do have some options to continue to expand for quite some time. So I'm not worried about running out of space anytime soon. Premium real estate I may run out of for whoever gets to be in the front. Obviously, if you're a front tier character, that's great. But I do have to be selective for sure. And I've really dialed back myself because, y'all, you can't get everything. I can't get everything. And I really decided when I got that shipping notice for the black and gold Mark 7, and I said, I don't need this. I have way too many Iron Men. This one's not that special. There's not even a head sculpt. I don't want this. And I canceled it. I ate the NRD and I said, this is the start. I'm not getting all this stuff. And so when they had all those artisan releases a couple weeks ago, I didn't get everything because I don't need everything, and neither do you. So I do have room for growth. Super, super cool. So I got a while to go, but this room is all I get. This is all I get. Outside where my collection used to be there, I used to have a desk and put some statues and stuff. That's one of our entertainment zones now. So this is where we have a nice couch, some plant and wallpaper, all that stuff. I don't know if you can see it there or not. Let's see. Yeah, can you see the wallpaper and the couch in the corner? Maybe, I don't know. But that's it now. So we all have our fun and not going past that. What happens around? Wish I knew it earlier. Wow, President John Trump is in. That's pretty crazy. Homelander? I do not have a Homelander. I do not have anything from The Boys. So love the show, at least the first couple seasons. I didn't watch the latest season because it kind of fell off, but I'm aware of everything happening. What up, Keco? What up, chat? Luis says. One Adam 12 says, how long have you been collecting Hot Toys and what did you collect before this? I did say that before in the last comment. If you didn't hear that already, about 5-6 years I've been collecting Hot Toys. And stuff I collected before that, I collected Funko Pops like everybody. Collected Black Series, Marvel Legends, did all that stuff. But a majority of my collecting as a kid was the vintage 77 to 83 Kenner Star Wars figures. Collected a little bit of G.I. Joe. Then I got Ghostbusters and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles growing up as a kid. Those were the big ones. Loved those. Switched to Power Rangers, obviously. And I wish I still had a lot of these. But I had all the Power Rangers. My dad actually would go to Toys R Us, wait for the trucks to come in, pay the people off the trucks to get the Power Rangers. And my dad was an OG when it came to that. He's the one that started this whole collecting thing for me because he got me all the figures. Dragon Zord, White Ranger, all that stuff. So, and then I switched over to what did I do after that? Then I went back to the Power of the Force line, which was 1996. So that's when Star Wars started making their new figures again, which was really cool. And then I got out of that and started collecting guitars because I was too old to play with toys. And I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And so I started buying stuff back. And the things that I started to buy back started with Disney Infinity. Did anybody ever play Disney Infinity? I used to collect all of them. And I had them. If you look at some of my old collection videos, I still used to have all the Disney Infinity figures. So those I used to have, just didn't have room for them. I mean, they're cool, but I used to collect all those. But I also used to collect Star Wars CCG, the Star Wars customizable card game. Loved that. I had all of those up, and I was only missing like one set, and I sold all of those like 2 or 3 years ago because how are you going to display cards? I just had a bunch of binders of them. I loved them though. I loved the Star Wars CCG from Decipher. It was crazy that some of the later sets sold for a crap ton of money. Like the Death Star 2 set, like I had the Jedi Knight Luke and Emperor Palpatine. Those sold for like $500, which was crazy. So there's still a market for a lot of those things. That's what I collected. Has Kit got back to you trying to switch my Aragorn? From what I hear is Kit will not get back with you about trying to switch on a pre-order. So I think you might be fighting a losing battle on that, but fingers crossed. Darren says, this hobby is the worst for scammers. Unfortunately, you're right. People will definitely try to take advantage of you, especially someone overseas, because they'll take advantage of somebody that has a lot of hype, and they'll be like, I'm done. and they'll run away with your money, and then they'll close up shop, and you can't really sue them because it's an international market, and it sucks. It really does. Marty D says, how do you feel with, whoop, too many. Marty D says, how do you feel with demotivation when it comes to content creation? What to make, what to do, etc. Marty, man, I am very demotivated a lot. That's honestly why I got on here, because you want some transparency, everybody? Here's some transparency for you, and this is important. So if you're not listening to anything I've talked about with toys, this is important. I don't say I've struggled with mental health before. I had severe anxiety and intrusive thoughts and depression and all that kind of stuff. Went to counseling. Tried medication for a little while, but ultimately it was a change in mindset and a change in lifestyle which really helped me. But I'm a huge advocate for mental health and mental health awareness, and I get depressed a lot still. I think a lot of the things that I buy are sometimes depression purchases, and I'm just being truthful with you. When I'm sad, because I came from an abusive home. My dad was an alcoholic and a drug addict. Although he took care of me and got me a bunch of, toys, he wasn't really there, unfortunately. And so he tried to buy his time with me, and that's not great. And so I had a lot of mental, emotional abuse from my dad growing up, and that translated to my relationships. And so all that to say, I have a lot to be thankful for. And you may be sitting there right now and you're like, I don't get it, man. Like, you got all these toys, you got a beautiful home, beautiful wife, beautiful dogs. Great. What are you sad about? It just happens. I get depressed. And sometimes when I'm just sitting around, I do not want to make anything at all. I really don't. And when I'm having a mood, I don't want to do anything. So I get that for sure about being demotivated. But if you find something that gives you joy, follow that and run with it. And that's why I'm on here with you guys tonight, is because I like interacting with people. I love talking. I love talking to people. And so I'm like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm not motivated to finish the video that should have launched today. You'll get that tomorrow. So I'm like, I'll just jump on here instead. So I get it. So if you're not feeling it, just wait and find it. Don't force anything ever. Don't ever force something to be put out. Same thing with like content on like Instagram or TikTok. Don't overthink it for one, but don't put something out just to put it out if you're not really feeling it. So don't do that. But demotivation is real. Mental health is something that's extremely important to me. And if you're struggling with mental health or anything, let me know. I'd love to chat with you about it because I struggle with it. And we all do to a degree. So just trying to be real honest with you about that. Darth Kerbaby, that's kind of like what I just said. How do you amass such a huge collection? Depression. And buying things when I shouldn't have. But just time. A lot of people say, how do I get a collection like this? One by one. You collect it all if you try to collect it all at once, you're going to get messed up. Don't do that. Collect pieces you want, one piece at a time. And when you can afford it and when you feel like it. Don't get anything to fill a hole. And I've done this before. Like, you'll build these new display. This is a perfect example. You go and build a brand new display case. Maybe you buy some new Detolfs. Maybe you'll go and buy, maybe you'll build some Magic cases, whatever. And you'll be like, ooh, there's an empty space here. I don't like it being empty. I'm going to go ahead and fill it with something else. And you go and buy something you shouldn't just to fill it. So don't do that. But yeah, just be smart about it. Ninja says, what are your thoughts on Hot Toys in-game Captain America and Hot Toys Cable from Deadpool 2? I love both of them. The in-game cap you can find very, very cheap, which is awesome. And that's a great, great thing because there was a lot of them made. And so if you can find in-game cap, awesome. That sounds awesome. Cable, as you can see, there he is. Cable right there. I love him. I think he's excellent. I had the Toys Era, the mechanic, I think, or mechanical, whatever. I think it was Toys Era that made that. I had that one. The Hot Toys one blows it away. So if you like that version of Cable, I think it's excellent. So go for it. Chronically Annoyed says, Pop Collectibles, aka Toys Wonderland 2, has some of the rudest customer service I ever dealt with. Yeah, I'm not going to say no because I don't know how many people work there. Even someone that was in with them, being me, I got terrible customer service. So if I was getting customer service that was bad, what are y'all getting? So that's one reason I just said I can't deal with this anymore, so I'm out. And I don't recommend anyone to go there unless you're comfortable with doing that. So go for it. Valkyrie says, when I first started collecting Hot Toys, I binge watched all your videos to learn as much as I could. Well, we've come a long way in the video department. There's a lot of them out there. I'm like, whoa, these are terrible. Really bad lighting, really bad microphones, really bad everything. But that's part of it. You know, building a channel, you go and you say, okay, I'm just going to start putting content out there, and you learn and you grow. And that it's fun to look back on, but it's also kind of embarrassing at the same time. But you got to start somewhere. And I'm glad I finally did start. Oryx Collection says, if I really want something day one, I'll get from them. But for the most part, I honestly think Sideshow's the way the reward system is great. Yeah, I got Scorch 100% from my Sideshow points. I didn't pay $1 for it. I bought an entire figure from my Sideshow points. So that's awesome. Music Collectible says, yeah, the waiting time. I think I'm behind a lot on my questions here, so I apologize about that. Music and Collectible says, yeah, the waiting time is insane. Still waiting for the Batman. I'm assuming we're talking about InArt. Yep, 100%. Darren says, it seems to me that HK resellers, with the exceptions of Toy Buy-In Agent, think it's okay to take orders with full down payment, but only ship the figure until the price paid market. There it is. Darren says, and there's good people out there and there's bad people out there when it comes to some of these. And I can just see someone talking about Michael Jackson right now. I'm really behind on my comments, so I do apologize about that. I'm trying to get through these, but also be thorough in some of the things I'm saying. But that's the truth of it, is that a lot of these Hong Kong sellers, if you buy something and pay it in full, they've already got your money. And so if they're going to have an inventory and someone says, okay, this new Deadpool, I bought it for, say you paid for $300 for whatever, cool. But then they're saying, okay, market value $600. I'm going to ship the one where the guy's going to pay $600 before I ship to you. So that's part of it. That's a huge, huge thing. So yeah, just be really, really careful about that. Man, I'm really behind. Oh boy. Let me see. Talking about Hong Kong. Michael Jackson's the GOAT. Yes, he is. What are your thoughts on the Jazz Inc. Catwoman? I'm super excited about it. I'm very intrigued. Ryan Cook says, I've never had a Jazz Inc. product, but that looks incredible. I had the Iron Scavenger. Wasn't that impressed, but this looks like a step above that. We'll see how the price goes in the final product, but I'm definitely in on that. InArt is failing in my opinion. Yes, I agree with you. Music and Collectible says, considering canceling and getting the Unreal Toys custom head for the Hot Toys one. That might be a better option. I love this Hot Toys, the Batman, and which is why I'm saying I don't think I need the InArt one. So something to think about there. Mr. Comic says, SM3 black suit or PS5 black suit? Spider-Man. Oh, you're talking about the new Toby one that's coming out? They're two totally different suits. So if you like Toby, that one's got a really sick head sculpt. If you really like that one, where's he at? Yeah, if you like that one right there, that's a sick figure. But they're two totally different ones. So it's kind of the way you feel, I suppose, about which you want your symbiote suit to look like. So if I'm going to put everything on it, I'm going to go with that one. I like that one. It looks more comic accurate. The Humble Collector says, I think some collectors go InArts are best because they cost more. Kind of elitist. I'm a better collector than you, even here in UK, blah, blah, blah. Hot Toys always been good for me. Yep. I do think there's some elitism when it comes to InArt. You're paying for more, so it should be better, and people think it is. Dexter says, what are your thoughts about the Kenobi series OE1 figure? My waitlist converted for him and just ordered him. I don't know yet. It should be good, I hope. If they fix that head sculpt, could be great, but we just don't know yet. Toten's collection. What's your tip to display figures in tight spaces? What do you mean by that? Because these are tight spaces. Do a simple, use a stand so they don't fall over. If it's an enclosed case, maybe make sure, I don't know. If you want to follow up in that question, I'll try to re-answer it again later on. Rap Reacts, acknowledge him. Roman Reigns, that's how far behind I am. Will you sell your Moon Knight? No, I will not sell my Moon Knight. What do you think of the Apex, Core Z2K says, what do you think of the Apex Chaos Ultra cases or Magi case to pick between them on Sideshow? I don't know, because I don't have either. Apex, I think, are just single cases, if I'm correct. Magi case is bigger, so if you want to do like a single figure, like this is the one I want, they look cool, but for someone that's got wanting to display a bunch of figures, I would always go with more room than that. Pure Steward says, the unreleased Hot Toys are always sitting in the back pocket of a random limited release where they know a small batch will sell. Howard is ready for that InArt PO day. Probably right. Probably right. Darth Kerbaby says, I think it's cool we are getting so many Deadpool figures, but why haven't we got a pre-order for Empire Strikes Back Chewie? But Kidpool? Really? Well, that's what I talk about in my High on Hopium video, is that just because things are revealed doesn't mean they're ever getting released. There's so many cool figures out there that are probably never going to see the light of day. I hope that's not the case for Chewie, but it makes you wonder, right? When do you think Hot Toys Bane will drop? Probably in the next couple months. It's on the coming soon page. The next one, since they just finished that one up. So that, Grand Admiral Thrawn, the Artisan Joker, all those should be coming within the next couple months. So that should be exciting. Pure Steward says, I collect pain and suffering from being a Bills and Leafs fan. Bengals fan here, you know that. Jay-Z says, what's up, Keco? Kyle, Solo Keco, Star Crash, good stuff. No, do them on YouTube. I'm assuming you're talking about these live streams and Ask Me Anythings. My reels are great. Thank you. Love the live stream. Thank you. The Real Collector. I hope that's talking about me. Great personality, honestly fresh and well-spoken, a true honest collector. Thank you, Marty. Appreciate that. What inspired you into collecting 1/6 scale figures? I found one and held it in my hand for the first time. Jose Venegas says that. As I said, I held that Deadpool for the first time, and it was awesome. Quality over quantity, Hammer of the God says, yes, quality over quantity all the time, because I do have, down here on the bottom shelves, if you have a display, most people will tell you your bottom displays are the figures you're not that proud of, and it's the truth. There's some things down here that I've gotten that are third party that aren't as good as the top shelf. Just when it comes down to liquor, the top shelf stuff is always the better stuff. So if you have something just to fill a hole, don't do that. Get quality. Buy nice or buy twice. Stephen Mont says, I'm an in-the-box collector. I hate it, but buy figures. Still happy. You mean you never even unbox them? That's crazy. Unbox them because they need to breathe. There's gases in there that will make the figures deteriorate, so let them breathe. Chronically Annoyed says, do you think they are going to make a new original trilogy Boba Fett? Are you talking about like a Return of the Jedi or Empire Strikes Back? They just did one. They re-released the Empire Strikes Back 40th like 2 years ago, so I don't think we're getting a Boba Fett anytime soon for the original trilogy. What are your thoughts on customs? Customs are really expensive. Joseph Dufresne says, customs are handcrafted, hand-pieced, so if you really want the best, you're going to have to go the custom route for things, because that way you can be particular on what it is that you like, don't like, whatever. But I will say, a lot of the customs, I don't think they look that great. That's just my opinion, because they're not professional. Now, you can pay thousands of dollars on some like sculpts, that's different. But some of them don't look that great. So I'll stick with the mainstream stuff for me. Jazzy says, stop paying first batch, try to flex and do a mediocre review and get 10 views. Jazzy or Jay-Z is speaking truth. The review market's saturated, y'all. There's too many people doing the same review. And if you think that you're going to get yours, overpay for it, and yours are going to pop off, I don't mean to be negative, but they're not. Just the way it is. There's too many other reviewers, so that's why I don't review. Star Crash says, have you received your InArt Batman? Nope. Sure haven't. Mauricio says, top 5 Hot Toys head sculpts. I've done this before, but I'll make it real quick. Yondu, Yondu, Scarlet Witch, the new red and blue suit, Peter, I still think the DX-13 and I'm going to go Alec Guinness Obi-Wan. So there's your 5. See if there's any other one I missed. Those are your 5. Austin Collects, I don't fully agree. Austin Collects says, I don't fully agree with your take on InArt fully, but they are slow. But I respect your voice and opinion and voting with your wallet. I think down the road they will fully get it together. And Austin, I hope so. I don't want companies to not be successful. Not at all. I want them to be competitive and provide options, because that's what consumerism is. That's what, market competition is for. It makes people better. I love that. But if they can't deliver, then no one's happy. So yeah, let's figure that out, everybody, hopefully. Adrian says, I want that Terminator 2.0 to drop already. Yep, that's why I have that Terminator there. I don't know if it's going to happen. So I hope so. That'd be great. GIMP is an alternative to Photoshop and it's free. Didn't know that, Frogman. So GIMP is a new photo app. So yeah, interesting. I'll check that out. Fernando Carranza says, do you own any quarter scale Hot Toys? And if no, why not? I do. I have two. I have right down here. Well, where are we at? So I have quarter scale Darth Vader and I have quarter scale Mando. And I don't like them. They're too big. They just feel cheap. And even the quarter scale Iron Men, they're plastic. They're not die cast. And they just feel kind of cheap. So I'm not going to be getting any more. They're just too big. They take up way too much spot. CM says, what up, dude? Greetings from Peruvian Collector located in San Diego, California. Hello, CM. Thank you for joining. Daryl Smith says, my guy, AFC North in the house. Let's go. Good luck this season. How's that Kang figure? He'll be here Monday. The Kang is really, really good. I do have the head sculpt right here, if you're wondering. There's Jonathan Majors as Kang. And it does just have like a little slip that you kind of put on the neck and then goes just like that. So that's kind of cool. But I keep the blue helmet on, which is, he's right there. And I have him floating on the platform. He's great. He's really, really great. It's a shame what happened with that whole storyline. Maybe they'll revisit again, but the Kang figure's great. Do you like 1/6 or 1/12 scale or other scales in general? Also, hello, Keco. Rastlin says, I used to collect 1/12 scale, a lot of them back in the day. So I respect them. I just don't have any room for them in my collection. Is there fire which figure you save? The Humble Collector UK says, if there's a fire, which one do I save? I've said this before. My favorite figure in the entire collection, Darkseid Anakin Skywalker. That's the one I'm going to take. So Darkseid Anakin Skywalker, that's the only one I can get. Because I got big arms, I'm going to grab Darkseid Anakin Skywalker and my Ghostbusters. The Ghostbusters right there. The car's probably not going to be able to make it, but I'm going to grab Anakin and I'll grab the Ghostbusters. A new Ultron would be great. Yes, it sure would. Do you think they'll do 2.0 Clone Troopers? Declan says. That, I guess we're talking like the shinies, the all-white Clone Troopers. I think so. I mean, I have no idea why they would not produce a normal clone again. They'll probably just make some adjustments, add something to it. And yeah, I definitely think that 100% will happen. But the Attack of the Clones 2.0, who knows? Maybe. I don't know when. And I can't believe that they never made more of those. That's wild. What kind of lines will you not collect? CM says, what kind of lines will you not collect? For me, horror figures, Star Trek, and nothing from what Disney made with Star Wars. Yes. So what I do, I collect Batman, but I don't collect DC. My collection is pretty much Star Wars, Marvel, and the movies and TV shows I grew up with. So that's pretty much all I got. So I love all my Batman because Batman's the GOAT. That's the best superhero. Let's just be honest. Batman is the best superhero. But the Ghostbusters, Terminator, Game of Thrones is what I watched. RoboCop, Pirates of the Caribbean, Back to the Future, Breaking Bad, The Turtles, Men in Black. Those are things that I got that I love. And that's just stuff that I've grown up with watching. So if it's something I've watched and I love, I'll probably add that in. Gizmo right down there. And if you haven't checked out my collection tour, maybe I need to do another one. If you want to see another collection tour, I don't think I've done one in about 6-7 months. Let me know. Happy to do that. Chronically Annoyed says, Keco, go to your user account on Sideshow. Okay. This is how to do, for those wondering, this is how you do the calendar. So you can check out pre-orders, I'm assuming. Keco, go to your user account on Sideshow. It's one of the options for me, the bottom left. Okay, cool. I will check that out, definitely. Sideshow, Darren says, Sideshow's calendar is just slash calendar. Cool, we'll check that out. Mitch says, first off, congrats. Any thoughts on your collabing with other content creators for upcoming episodes or live streams? I mean, we have 119 people in here right now, which that's pretty exciting. I know people have come in and out, so I don't know what the final numbers are going to be, but if these are successful, then I can see us doing kind of like a collab, talking back and forth, and maybe that's something that develops into like a Saturday chat where we interview another collector. And I've thought about that and be like, okay, and this is actually one of these little brain dumps I had. I do a lot of walking. Like I said, it's good for mental health. Oh, never mind. I thought I saw something. But I do a lot of walking, and so when I was walking, I said, I wonder if this would work, is that I would start interviewing somebody that just started a channel. So anybody with 0. And then I would do someone that just has 1 or 2 subscribers, then double it to 4, then to 8. And ultimately kind of build on that and ultimately get up to someone that's got millions of subscribers. And that would be like a fun little series to say, okay, double it and go on to the next one. So I would love to maybe do something like that, like increasing the Volatile says, how big is your collection room? It is, I don't know. It's this big. There's a spin, blah, blah, blah. I want to say it's like a 10 by 12 room. I don't know. I forget. Or a 10 by 20, maybe. I don't know. Big enough, but not big enough at the same time. Are you really giving up on InArt? I really am close, Chi. I really am. Would you fear of losing InArt, finally get their shit together and miss out on MJ? I don't want to miss out on MJ, but I don't know what to do. I'm really panicked about that, honestly. But Star Crash, yeah, I'm tapping out potentially on InArt because I think they need to get their stuff together. Do you buy copies of figures? Because I think going to get 2 copies of Deadpool and Lady Deadpool, as in like 1 to display and 1 to keep, or do I buy more than 1 Thor? Because I got 5 Thors and 6 Captain Americas, blah, blah, blah. Clorna says, hey, bro, really enjoy your content. I appreciate your honesty. Any news on a potential interview with InArt on your channel? Great question. I need to get with Johnny on that. If Johnny can find the time to do so, I will 100%. And maybe we can even do that on one of these, just like a live stream, just like this. I will get with Will to get with Johnny because he's got the direct contact there. And maybe that's the next one we do, is that we do a live stream with Johnny to answer some of those questions, because I know a lot of people do want to see that. So great question there. What figure is aged the worst? Potato Meme says, what is aged the worst? Probably Farm Boy Luke. That's a pretty bad figure. That one's not great. A lot of these old Michael Jackson figures are really bad. The older Hot Toys are always going to be the worst because the technology keeps getting better. But I'm going to have to go here in a second because my wife is calling me again. But let's see. What figures age the worst? What's one Star Wars character you would like Hot Toys to make that they haven't yet? Greedo. I want to see Greedo, and I want to see the Empire Strikes Back bounty hunters. Those are the ones I want to see. Keco, any fish powers lately or better swimming skills? No, I have not had anything bite me in the lake recently. Keco, have you got the 3016 Rangers? I have them, and they're fantastic. I had the Star Ace versions, and I hated them. And I sold them. Took a loss. I hated it. The 30 I've held them at Toy Department. They look great. I wish I had room for them, but because you have to have all 6 or 7 of them at that point. So I don't have them, but I've played with them. They're pretty cool. Greetings from Northern Ireland. Respect the lore. Hello. I used to play Disney Infinity with my daughter. Good memories. Kevin, how are you? I'm great. How can I meet you in person? Come to ICCC. I'll be there. We love you, Keco. Oh, boy. I am way behind on my things. So we're still talking about mental health. I fight depression, keep busy, exercise, work every time. Yep. Batman Collectible says, thoughts on sculpts. I'm not going to be able to answer all of these. We've run out of time. Why is Gamora? Hey, Keco, my Bears just beat your preseason, Christopher Lee, if you're still here. Oh, no, there's too many comments. Shiny says, hey, Keco, if your figures all came to life, how many do you think could take down? I love those types of questions. Am I getting the 89 Batman 2.0? No, I like the original one better, actually. Oh, no. Muted sound. My first shot. What happened? Do you think it's a mistake to collect figures of the new characters? No. If you like something, you like something. Coming, guys. Push the like button. How many? Oh, okay. I finally got there. Amy, my wife, she said, I called once, honey. Mama's coming home. No need to rush off. Guys, breaking news. We can still do this. Okay, I don't have to jump off just yet, but I'm starting to sweat there if you can't tell. Y'all want an encore? Y'all still want an encore? Do we still want to stay on here? Give me some likes if you need to, because we have over 100 people in here talking right now, and this is going very well. So Amy has given me the approval to keep going. So let's do this, Derek says. Let's go. Let me go back to a couple of the questions I ran through And if I missed your question, I'm caught back up now. Resubmit it if I didn't say it. I will stay on here for another 10 minutes. So you have 10 minutes to ask your question, and we'll jump out just because I got to let the weens out, and Amy will be home. Let's see. So let's go back here. Like buttons. Will we see in October? McCoy Culture. Will I see you in... You're talking about Halloween Horror Nights with Natalie and Will. It's not looking likely because I immediately go on a cruise with my family like the next week. And we also have a Halloween party that we're hosting here. Probably not going to happen, but we will be seeing everyone soon. We'll figure that out. Let's see. We need a Farm Boy 2.0. Absolutely. Austin says, keep these live streams going. I love it. Would love to see that John interview one-on-one. I'm currently building my collection room and I want to start content on 1/6. Yeah. I'm going to get with Will, and maybe that's what we do next, is that because this has been a success. I consider this, I can't believe 100 people plus are in here right now watching, and that we've had a lot of people come in and out. That's awesome, and I appreciate everyone that's being a part of it. So let's see if we can't get John on here sooner than later to have a one-on-one, and we'll see how it goes. And I also just looked at my phone battery. We're at 25%, so that's crazy too. Brandon says, are you exclusively buying from Sideshow? I'm getting tired of how slow they are. Yes, I don't have another option. I'm not going to overpay for something, and it's going to get here when it gets here. And I know it sucks. It really does. So yeah, I'm using Sideshow because they're reliable and they get here when they get here. And if there's a problem, they will take care of you. They will. Can't say that for other retailers out there. So Kevin Vasquez says, Burrow or Dark Side Anakin Artisan? As in a figure? I would love a Joe Burrow figure, honestly. If they actually did some sports licenses and they did like sports figures, I know they've done like some one-off, like Interbay's done some NBA legends and things like that. I would love a Joe Burrow figure. That would be really, really cool. There's Amy saying she called and she got on her way home. Oh, that's a good one. Uriel says, I want to see Hot Toys make a Darth Nihilus from the Old Republic. Darth Nihilus, Darth Scion, Darth Treya. I actually still play Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I love that game, the little mobile game. And that actually is my that's my squad that I use is the Sith Triumvirate, So it's Nihilus, Treya, and Scion with Malik as my tank and Darth Talon as my support and attacker. So yes, I would love a Darth Talon too. That would be incredible. So Sith Lord says, plans for acquiring the Anakin Artisan. I'm hoping for a waitlist conversion, but if not, I know there are a lot of really good collectors out there that says, I'm going to help you out. So I think I do have some leads, and we'll see how it goes. Paul says, hey, Keco, you always talk about curating your collection. Any plans to make a video about how you go about doing that, or do you have one already? That's a great question. So curation is kind of, Will makes fun of me. It's kind of like gardening, pulling out the weeds and cutting off the dead ends that aren't going to help you grow, and putting the things that are going to sustain your collection long term. So curation is finding the things you're not going to be happy with. Look at the bottom of your displays. What are down there? Those are the ones you probably would need to move out first. So if you're going to be making room for new things coming in, look at the bottom, because that's probably where you're going to go, because those aren't the best figures, and everyone knows that. So that would be part of it, but that's a great idea for a video about curation and how to do so. Hell yeah, let's do this. Oh, yeah. Did you order the Battle Damage Vader special edition or plan to? I did order the one, yes, the special edition, because it was on the time and it was free. So why not pay, or why not get the free upgrade? So let's go for that. Please do reviews. As I said, too many reviewers are out there. I don't have anything new to say. And so me getting it 6 months later than everybody else, I don't think anyone's going to watch a review of something that's been out that long. Because yeah, Kang came out recently, but I mean, everyone's done, like, by the time I get Deadpool in 6 months, everyone's seen that already. So why would I do that? It's I don't think anyone wants to see those. I'm glad that you want me to do them, but it's just not going to be for me. My first Hot Toys figure was Hot Toys Deadpool. I've said that a couple times already. The original, there he is. I think yeah. No, yeah, he's right there. The Deadpool from Deadpool 2. That's it. Thoughts on the Cavalrine? I thought it was awesome. I think we're past the spoiler mark at this point. So everyone that doesn't know, Henry Cavill played Wolverine in the new Deadpool movie, and he looked pretty darn good. Pretty cool. How many statues you got? One, two, three, four, about 10 or 12. Not a lot, but that's still a lot of statues. My favorite one is the one let's see if up there, is this one right here. My wife got me that one for Christmas because I really, really wanted it. The General Obi-Wan Kenobi. I love that, and I'm glad she got that for me. My favorite comic. I don't know if you can see it. It's right there. That's my favorite comic. My dad got that for me one morning. I woke up, and he had given me that comic book. And it says The Web of Spider-Man, and it's the Hulk killing Spider-Man. And he wrote a little note on it saying, to the best son anyone could ever have. And my dad gave me that, and I still have that comic book to this day. So I love that comic book. That's my favorite comic book. What do you think they will ship? Oh, when do you think they will ship my InArt Aragorn? Next fall? Good luck. Honest Hansel. Keco. Here we go. Thoughts on the Nashville Predators' new signings? Stanley Cup inbound, everybody. The Nashville Predators are winning the Stanley Cup. You heard it here first. I can't believe that they got him. Steven Stamkos being a part of this team. Never thought I would say that in a million years. I actually saw the photos they did of all the new players in their new jerseys, and it was crazy to think that Steven Stamkos is a Nashville Predator. That's pretty wild to me. Why are you skipping my questions or comments? I don't understand why. I didn't. I just answered yours about doing the reviews, so that's why. I just told you, so I didn't skip your comment. Thanks for the Kiefer, Mr. Comics. Thanks for the Kiefer Sherwood. Happy to see what he will do for the Canucks. Oh, yeah. I don't have no beef with the Canucks. I used to because the Predators played them like 4 times in the playoffs, and they kept getting eliminated by the Canucks every single time. That was a thing. The Sedin twins, those are scary days back in the day. Thoughts on the upcoming Susu Supergirl figure? I haven't seen it. I hope it's good. Favorite comic or media that isn't being made by Hot Toys? Mine is Spawn. That isn't being made by Hot Toys? You got me on that one. You got me. A lot of the stuff Mars Toys is putting out is pretty good. Like I said, I really liked that Riddler. Really liked the Joker. So we'll see. Amazing collection. Thank you, Monty. What character would you like as a figure that's never been made? As I said, Greedo and the Empire Strikes Back Bounty Hunters would be great. Marty says the Keco is the hero we need but don't deserve. Shiny, what do you think of J&D's 1/6 prototypes? Comical. There's no way to know when it comes down to the silicone. I'm not getting into that. Way too much money. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Keep up the videos, man. You become a must-watch when you post. Appreciate that. Really do. Alfredo Hernandez says, I wish Hot Toys make a Joel and Ellie. I know Will certainly would like that. Shiny says, Star Ace are like the molehills of our display gardens. Yep. And I got like a couple minutes left here. Is there any figure you regret not getting when it was available, end up paying more for it? No. Anything that I've paid more for is one I really wanted. I did used to pay for day one pieces, which I do regret every single one of those. Every single one of those, because I would have had them eventually, and my impatience was something that was really stupid. I wish I wouldn't have done that. How do you let others influence the way you collect and produce your content? I don't. I do exactly what I want to do. As I said, I don't have no sponsorships. I don't have no money. I don't have anything that ties me to anybody. I listen to what people say. I take comments that people say and say, hey, do this, or what do you think about that? If anything asked respectfully, I'll answer you every single time. I do not hide from anybody. I have nothing to hide from anyone. But I will do my own thing. So no one influences what I collect, and I don't want to influence what you collect either, which is another reason I don't like doing reviews. I don't want to say, oh, this is it. This is the thing. Get this. That's not going to be me. So, yeah, no one's going to influence my collecting, and I don't want to influence yours. I want to educate, not influence. Jeremy says, with Sideshow, if you pay in full over split payment, will you get your order soon? No one knows, Jeremy. No one knows. I know I have... There's no answer to this. No one knows how it works, honestly. You could do it and it works, and then somebody will do the exact same thing, and someone will get it seven years later. I know it's an exaggeration, but still. Yeah, there's no way to know. Do you collect horror figures? I have Pennywise, if that counts. He's not obligated to answer your questions. Don't be rude. Favorite video game? Hot Toys had given the blah, blah, blah. We see new Hot Toys Alien. We might. I think they have the Alien license. I mean, they did Ripley before and things like that, so who knows? J&D's a loose cannon. Waiting on InArt Superman. If you know, how's the Ray Ray's collection, and we'll end on this one. If you know, how rare is the Blitzway Ecto-1? Like, how many was made? There it is. I heard only 1,000 were made. That's what I was told. I don't know that 100% sure. They're not numbered, so there's no way to know for sure. But I heard 1,000, and that makes sense. It's a big piece. It was very expensive, even without the aftermarket. It was very expensive. But it's a beautiful piece, man. It's very, very cool. So that's how rare it is, and 1,000 worldwide. So there you go. That's going to do it for us here, right on the dot, 6:45. We did an hour and 15 minutes. That's wild. So if you haven't subscribed, I think most people in here probably are. You're subscribed to this channel. Thank you so much for being here, hanging out with me. We will do this again, 100%. This actually went better than I ever thought it could. So thank you, guys. It's a growing learning experience. Hopefully you enjoyed this vertical live stream, because I know a lot of people don't do it like that, and everyone uses StreamYard or whatever, but I feel like this is a town hall. It's like a live chat, as Derek said. So thank you, everybody. I will talk to you soon. Make sure to like, subscribe, send this video around, whatever, and I'll be seeing you all real soon in my next video. See you guys.